When you are old and grey and full of sleep, and nodding by the fire, take down this book, and slowly read and dream of the soft look your eyes had once, and of their shadows deep. How many loved your moments of glad grace, and loved your beauty with love false or true? But one man loved the pilgrim's soul in you, and loved the sorrows of your changing face. And bending down beside the glowing bars, murmur, a little sadly, how love fled and paced upon the mountains overhead, and hid his face amid a crowd of stars. Naked, you are simple as one of your hands, smooth, earthly, small, transparent, round. You have moonlines, apple pathways. Naked, you are slender as a naked grain of wheat. Naked, you are blue as a night in Cuba. You have vines and stars in your hair. Naked, you are spacious and yellow as summer in a golden church. Naked, you are tiny as one of your nails, curved, subtle, rosy, till the day is born and you withdraw to the underground world, as if down a long tunnel of clothing and of chores. Your clear light dims, gets dressed, drops its leaves, and becomes a naked hand again. Between my finger and my thumb, the squat pen rests, snug as a gun. Under my window, a clean rasping sound when the spade sinks into gravelly ground, my father digging. I look down till his straining rump among the flower beds bends low, comes up 20 years away, stooping in rhythm through potato drills where he was digging. The coarse boot nestled on the lug, the shaft against the inside knee was levered firmly. He rooted out tall tops, buried the bright edge deep to scatter new potatoes that we picked, loving their cool hardness in our hands. By God, the old man could handle a spade, just like his old man. My grandfather cut more turf in a day than any other man on Toner's bog. Once I carried him milk in a bottle corked sloppily with paper. He straightened up to drink it, then fell to right away nicking and slicing neatly, heaving sods over his shoulder, going down and down for the good turf, digging. The cold smell of potato mold, the squelch and slap of soggy peat, the curt cuts of an edge through living roots awaken in my head. But I've no spade to follow men like them. Between my finger and my thumb, the squat pen rests. I'll dig with it. My pen moves along the page like the snout of a strange animal, shaped like a human arm, and dressed in the sleeve of a loose green sweater. I watch it sniffing the paper ceaselessly, intent as any forager that has nothing on its mind but the grubs and insects that will allow it to live another day. It wants only to be here tomorrow, dressed perhaps in the sleeve of a plaid shirt, nose pressed against the page, writing a few more dutiful lines, while I gaze out the window and imagine Budapest or some other city where I have never been. If I were a cinnamon peeler, I would ride your bed and leave the yellow bark dust on your pillow. Your breasts and shoulders would reek. You could never walk through markets without the profession of my fingers floating over you. The blind would stumble certain of whom they approached, though you might bathe under rain gutters, monsoon. Here on the upper thigh at the smooth pasture, neighbor to your hair, or the crease that cuts your back, this ankle. You will be known among strangers as the cinnamon peeler's wife. I could hardly glance at you before marriage, never touch you, your keen-nosed mother, your rough brothers. I buried my hands in saffron, disguised them over smoking tar, helped the honey-gatherers. When we swam once, I touched you in water, and our bodies remained free. You could hold me and be blind of smell. You climbed the bank and said, "This is how you touch other women, the grass-cutter's wife, the lime-burner's daughter." And you searched your arms for the missing perfume, and knew what good it is to be the lime-burner's daughter, left with no trace, and if not spoken to in the act of love, as if wounded without the pleasure of a scar. You touched your belly to my hands in the dry air, and said, "I am the cinnamon peeler's wife. Smell me."